What's up, Mayhem? We are so excited to have you back for another workout. Today is going to be a cardio-based leg workout. We have Stevie and Kristen in the studio to get after it with us. Let's get started. All right, guys, we gotta get warmed up, so we are starting the clock here. We have 10 seconds, and we are starting with an X jump. We're gonna be warming up for our snatches. 3, 2, 1, go. This is just gonna be a hinge at the hip. You're gonna get a little more explosive as the clock goes on. We wanna just make sure that our hamstrings are feeling nice and warm here because we are gonna be incorporating a dumbbell at some point for those of you doing minimal. Cool. Go ahead and do about 10 more seconds of this. You can go a little faster if you're feeling good, or you can stay at that pace. We're gonna transition here in 3 seconds to just a nice standing march, so go ahead and switch to that. We actually have some running today, so for those of you that have the ability to go for a run, you have a run machine like we do here, or if you're just gonna be doing some marches at home during your workout, this is a great way to warm up the hips for that. So get those nice and high, as high as you can. Think about kind of going slower if one side feels a little more stuck than the other. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and transition to an up-down. So this is going to be a burpee without that chest touching the ground. So you can go ahead and get started with that. This is gonna kind of elevate that heart rate up a little bit as we're getting closer to go time. So just think almost like you're gonna lay down, but catch yourself in that high plank position. And then you can either step your feet forward or just like you'll see here in the studio, where we have some hopping forward as well. Whatever feels more comfortable to you. And now we are gonna go ahead and transition to some air squats. So we're gonna get our hips below parallel. If you need something at home, you can stick a chair behind your butt, something you can just tap yourself to. If you're in the living room, find your couch. And we're gonna move through this because we have some squatting movements here today. So we wanna make sure that we feel nice and warmed up for that. So let's do a few more seconds of this moving through here. If you want to keep that heart rate high, you can give a little bit of a hop or a rise to it just to kind of get you more warm because we're gonna get started in our workout here shortly. We'll finish up with a few more. We got about 9 seconds. Good job, guys. In 3, 2, 1, cool it down. All right, we're gonna get started with this workout here. All right, guys, your workout is getting started here in 10 seconds. We are gonna start out with either X jumps or dumbbell hang snatches. We got the clock rolling and we're getting started in 3, 2, 1, go. So no matter if you're doing body weight or if you're able to incorporate a dumbbell here, we're doing a very similar movement. We're hinging at the hips, being really nice and explosive. If you do have a dumbbell, just try to keep that dumbbell nice and close to your body. We got 12 reps going on and 10 reps. All right, finish that up, which this is actually an EMOM style workout, on the minute workout, whichever way you want to call it. What it means is we have a clock rolling. It is going to be you work for the minute and you do the amount of reps that is listed, and then you rest the remainder of that minute before moving on to the next movement, which, as you see, our athletes here in the studio have transitioned to their air runner, and that is going to be the next movement starting here in 5 seconds, which is a 100-meter run. So 2, 1, go. So being that this is the first time that you're gonna be running, or perhaps if you're at home and you don't have this, you can give me some either standing marches or even high knees. But being that this is the first time you're getting here in the workout, take it easy. You don't have to come out flying. As we progress, we'll end up doing 4 rounds of this, so you can kind of get a little bit faster as time goes on. So we're getting to that 100-meter mark, and then we're hopping off here. As you see, the athletes are gonna have time to rest before transitioning. So honestly, in this style of workout, Your rest is your reward. How quickly you work is kind of earned. So we're gonna start in 10 seconds with our next movement, which is going to be lateral burpees over the line or dumbbell. I'm gonna step out of their way. We got 3, 2, 1, go. So we're gonna go all the way to the ground. Unlike in the warm-up, we're getting our chest down to the ground. If you don't feel comfortable jumping over the line or the dumbbell, you can step over. You'll see that the athletes here in the studio are going to be jumping up from their burpee, but if you feel a little more comfortable stepping up, you can bring one leg forward and then stand tall. The good news about these lateral style burpees is because we're jumping over an object, you don't have to stand up all the way. You can just kind of get over that line and lay back down. So good. Through that first round of our burpees, and we're heading into a squatting movement here in just about 10 seconds. Now this is gonna be a little bit different from the warm-up because this is going to incorporate some sort of overhead movement. So we'll see here in 3, 2, 1, we have squat to overhead reach or a crush grip dumbbell thruster. Now super important if you're doing this dumbbell movement at home that you have some sort of either towel nearby or chalk because we want to make sure safety is first. So here you'll see with both athletes, they are getting their hips below parallel or below their knees. So all the way down, they're standing their hips all the way up, and because they have that overhead motion from a side view, they're also going to be making sure that either the dumbbell or their invisible dumbbell is directly above their head. If that is a little uncomfortable for you, then we can just do air squats or squats to a chair like we did in the warm-up. So that is one round, guys. We're gonna be rolling through 3 more rounds of this here. 10 seconds to start, and we're back to that X jump or dumbbell hang snatch. All right, and go. Good. So now, here in the studio, Stevie has that dumbbell. Perhaps you don't have dumbbells, but you can easily use an at-home object. If you have some sort of laundry detergent jug with a handle, then you're able to use that same thing to add a little bit of resistance. It can also be something where if you don't feel comfortable going overhead, you can do just that same hinge and just bringing it out in front of you, sort of like a kettlebell swing or dumbbell swing. So if you have some sort of limitation keeping you from going overhead, we got some options for you. Anyone can do these workouts. We're headed back to our runners. For those of you at home doing any sort of high knee or standing march, let's try to get in as many as you can in a 30-second window. So we're going right now. So as I was mentioning, these guys are taking a little, anywhere between 30 to 35 seconds. So for those of you who are at home and you don't have a meter mark because you're doing standing marches, think about doing that for 30, 35 seconds. Remember, the faster that you go, the higher your heart rate will get, which is very similar to the running motion that you'll see. Or if you just feel like standing marches elevates your heart rate enough, then you are good to go and just do whatever feels best for you. Nice work. All right. We're moving back to those burpees here, guys, so make sure that you find a rhythm that works for you. We got less than 10 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, go. Good, so like I mentioned, if perhaps jumping isn't something that you're able to do, even just stepping over that line, we just want to make sure that you are moving back and forth, kind of creating some sort of thing you have to get over. Whenever you're doing these burpees, if you have any sort of injury or something that causes you to not go down all the way, we can revert back to that up down that we did in the warm-up. So you'll still get an elevated heart rate. You just won't have to press all the way down from the ground out of that burpee. moving super fast here. They only had 10 for that movement. Both of them did the same thing. Now we're moving on to that squat to overhead reach or dumbbell crush grip thruster in 5, 3, 2, 1, go. Now, depending on what dumbbell weight you have access to, I do recommend that you're using a dumbbell weight that allows you to do all 10 of these without setting the dumbbell down. Remember, our rest is earned and it is our reward. So the faster that we go, the more rest we're gonna get. So setting that dumbbell down, having to pick it back up is going to shorten the amount of rest. And as you see here, these athletes are getting about 30 seconds of rest most of the time, which is super ideal. And it's still a great workout because they are still pushing hard in those first 30 seconds. So that wraps up round 2. We are rolling into round 3. Good news, guys, we are halfway through this EMOM. 16 minutes total. We're rolling into minute 8 here in 5 seconds. And go. Good. If for some reason you don't feel super comfortable with the X jump going all the way down to the ground, you can find something either in your house, perhaps something that's elevated, and you're just gonna be able to just reach down enough that you feel that tension in your hamstring and still doing the explosive movement you see Kristen doing here. Anything can be modified depending on maybe you are pregnant and hinging that far over maybe causes pain. Just something that you can still allow you to go through this exercise, but making sure that you keep all of your personal needs in mind. All right, we're rolling back to the run. We only have 2 more runs. Keep that in mind. We have 10 seconds on the clock, athletes. In 3, 2, 1, go. Now here at this, you should start feeling a lot more comfortable with your run. So I want you to focus on your breathing in this round. Think about every time that you move your foot forward and just think about the breath and counting through. You should be able to relax your breath enough. You should have had enough rest before this, and you'll have enough rest after that you're able to really push these 30 seconds. So when you get off the air runner or you get done with your high knees, really focus on controlling that breathing for the next 30 seconds or so before we move into the lateral burpees. We don't want to move into those feeling as if we haven't caught our breath, because those are also going to be super breathy, especially if you're moving as fast as Steven and Kristen. All right, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. You got those 10 burpees. And if you are doing this at home with your friend, or in this case, your spouse, you're probably internally racing. I know these guys definitely are. If you're doing this solo, shout out to you. But hey, bring a friend along with you. These are things that we can do side by side. We can make this fun fitness. That's what it should be. So these guys they're not saying anything, but I know they're like staring each other down while they're doing this. Yeah, CV says that he's won, but he's not keeping track. All right, we're moving into our second to last movement, our second to last round. You know what I mean. All right, here we go. We got 8 seconds on the clock. 5, 3, 2, 1, go. Now, if you are getting this dumbbell off the ground, there's a couple different ways, perhaps even by this time in the workout, you're still feeling unsure how to grab that. Just make sure we're keeping our back nice and flat when we bring it up off the ground. And then here, Stevie is keeping his elbows nice and high. Anytime that we drop our elbows or our chest down, we're kind of putting ourselves in jeopardizing our form. And while we do want to go fast because our rest is earned, form is always going to be on the very top of our priority list. So Only one more round for us here and for you at home. So once you get done with each of these movements, you can check them off the list because they are done. We got 10 seconds before you're starting that last set of snatches or X shots. 3, 2, 1, go. Good. If this is the time that you maybe are like, man, I have a little more gas in the tank. This last round, let's give it what you got. You're not gonna pick this dumbbell up again for a snatch. You're not gonna be doing this X jump movement. So give it what you got, kind of test and see. All right, I went fast here, I got a lot of rest. Can I do it again in the next one? All right. Same thing here on this run. Not saying that you need to find your fastest 100 meters, but just kind of challenge yourself. Maybe you've been getting off and you have 20 seconds of rest. Can you make that 25 seconds of rest? Just kind of always challenging yourself just a little bit. You can still have fun and still push yourself. I know these guys here are definitely doing that. So we got 8 seconds on the clock. 5, 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Remember, we've worked through our 3 rounds of this already. You should feel comfortable going faster at this. It's all about your mindset here. So push yourself and feel confident that you can get off of this run faster than you did in previous rounds. Nice. Good job, Kristen. There we go. Good, we got 30 seconds of rest. So again, find your breathing, control it, and hey, now's your chance to see if you can go faster on the burpees. I don't know if that's possible here. These guys have been going pretty fast, but it's the last time you're gonna do burpees. 10 seconds and we're going. 5, 3, 2, 1, go. Now remember, just because you're going fast doesn't mean you're not getting that chest to the ground. As you see, we got Speedy Stevie, who is just rolling through these. Even if you're not able to go quite this fast, find the fast for you. For me, my biggest thing would be that I need to know that when I hit the ground with my chest, I need to get up. Sometimes it's easy to just lay there and rest. So tell yourself when you're on the ground, all right, go. So thankfully, we don't have any more burpees, but the next time we do a burpee workout, you can tell yourself that. All right, we only have one more movement left before we completely wrap up this workout, and that is our squat to overhead reach or our dumbbell thruster. Now, like I said, you're probably feeling sweaty. If you're picking up that dumbbell, just make sure that you have some sort of chalk available or a towel, because we do not want these crush grip thrusters to crush you. All right. And go! This is your last one. After this, you get all the rest you want. So we are gonna be rolling through. Don't set that dumbbell down. Try not to stop moving on the squat to overhead reach and just roll with it. Once you're done, you're done. Good work. Nice! All right, for those at home, if you're still rolling, we have about 30 seconds left on the clock. We want to make sure that you finish strong. We are super glad you guys joined us today, and we'll be rolling into mobility soon. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and working out with us. You did so awesome. If you're not already a part of the Mayhem family, we have an option for literally anyone. We have our M30, which is what you guys did today, or you can do bodybuilding, CrossFit style, anything that your heart desires, we got it. So we look forward to seeing you guys around next time. Make sure you do your mobility. You can check right here for it. And have a great day. Remember to be the reason why someone smiles.